Good evening.
Oh, hi. Hi. How are you?
Good, Baruch Hashem.
Good.
Okay. Chaf.
Off, yes.
Brecha boli odi betach. Read the words reach me securely. Hanire kiyotzoncha ratzui yasei yisodos hados b'dash lema. Okay. Once you found the foundations of the religion with perfect intellect. Yes. Hitafta lasos. You do it. You did good. And this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu primarily wants of us. Dabe, if you have this, Kulabe, you have everything. Nitza Rishoina Ba'alanu, the first mitzvah which comes to us. Asher Hotzisicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu took us out of Egypt. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Asher Ein Ebed Yachol Librach Mitzrayim. So I guess this is the basis of the first mitzvah is because no slave was ever previously capable of fleeing Egypt. Because of their great wisdom in sorcery, we would assume. You already heard from us to explain the great wisdom of Chazal. Pasuk Vayasu Gam Haim. What does it mean that they also did the Khartoumim, Belateim Kain, the Egyptian magicians? Afilu Tinoko showed Arba V'chamisha Shonim. Kara. Wow, Paro, I never saw this medrash. Paro called children of 4 or 5 years old. Vasu Kain, and they were able to perform the sorcery with the throwing down the snake. Vayashlichu Ishmateu. See what the Medrash says previously. Paro started playing with them, laughing at them. And what's the word? What is the word? Crowing like a hen. Miyad Shalach Vivitilos Minaskulish Shalem, and I guess he was laughing, he was guffawing at their purported oaths of throwing down the staff. And immediately went and brought their children Minaskulish Shalem from their schools, Basu Gamheim Kach, and they also did the same thing. Afli Ishto Korabas came. So Paro also called his wife, and she did the same thing. Rikama Godla Chochmas Mitzrayim. Okay, that have a lot of Chochma in terms of Kishuv. Anira Kiyoke. So, why were they given such chachma? Latos is Paro, to cause Paro to make a mistake. And to harden his heart. Because somebody who comes to be Matame himself, like Paro did, they open the gates for him. And this was the opening for his downfall. And then afterwards, left Mitzrayim, Bereish Gali, in public, Briad Rama with an outstretched arm. Parsim Lane Kol, it became revealed to everybody, Elo Kuso Yisbarach Hashem's divinity. Unfortunately, nowadays, many people do. But I guess at the time of the Alter from Kelm, nobody denied Yitzias Mitzrayim, including the non-Jews. And all the miracles, because it's so public. It's so well known that you can't deny that. On the contrary, it's clear to everybody today, till today, place where the sea split. I don't know. Obviously, he mentioned before. I think in the last Simon, that he got this map which showed everything on it, but we don't really know what Kriyas Samson took place. But he says, on the world map, it's written in today.
Well, we said before that this was at the time when there was a renaissance of
right
Middle
Travel.
Eastern exploration and travel. Yeah.
Right. So, so he says that that's everybody would agree to that. And I guess, well, before I said that, the buildup of Mitzrayim and their confidence and they're demonstrating their powers was in order to make Yetzias Mitzrayim all the more powerful in terms of its the contrast and its the capacity of Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Nebuzenis Baralonu Kimalko Shalom Abinahu. He's our father. Bomi Beis Abadim, and he took us out of the house of slavery. Belule Zos. We're not for that in Shubayim and Paro Mitzrayim. Ubim Mitzrayim would still be subject to Paro in Egypt because they dim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. And all this Hakadosh Baruch Hu prefaces the Aser Sadibos with Shemin Adin Yesh Lanu Lekabel O Malchus Shamayim, that it is logical for us to be Yakabo, the yoke of heaven, basically sending Magufa Achor Gankin, even now when we're living in these these dark bodies. Masher Inuki Yeshlano of Bashamayim. For that we saw that we have a Father in heaven. Neida will know Kila Shreil to Basenu, that for our pleasure and our good goes Xeros. He decrees upon us decrees Hamadumos Lichoraki O Huta Olenu, which seemed to be just a yoke put upon us. But it's but the fact that he took us out of Mitzrayim indicates that he didn't want. He could have left us there if he wanted just to do the things which are burdensome. Obviously, we're supposed to see the things which he commanded us as not burdens, but rather things which are to our benefit and are going to actually make us better people and give us reward and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
When Maskil Yavin Kozete, told you people understands very well. She Yetzias Mitzrayim Daika. Yetzias Mitzrayim came specifically Ki Olam Hazeh Dom LeProza Bifnei Olam Haba. As this world is like a hallway in front of Olam Haba, and evidently we see that just like Yetzias Mitzrayim was a pathway to or hallway to Matan Torah and to all those things which were Yetzias Mitzrayim was meant to lead, and all are mentioned Zecher Yetzias Mitzrayim. So to this world is also a similar, broader sense, a prosder for Olam Haba. It's difficult for me to expand this, but I came really to be mechazik. The tier at least raga b'midas ometz, and you should make yourself accustomed to use the midah of courage. Rak chazak ve'amatz, be strong and of courage. See, b'afilu gabi Yoshua. Even Yoshua had to be chazak ve'amatz. Mikoshkein lanu, and certainly this is to us, which is a fascinating idea. In other words, you would think that Yoshua doesn't have to be so chazak ve'amatz because he was part of the revelation to at Har Sinai, Moshe Rabbeinu, when he saw all the osos and mopsim, and yet nonetheless he needs chizuk and imutz. So koshken us require chizuk and imutz. It's a little seed of this. So this should be embedded in you. Kasher na'ayin al teva adam, we look at nature, human beings, they rat, the sikhi adavar, asher hugam min arav, something which he's been accustomed to from his youth. Chamur beinav ma'od. It's something which is very significant in his eyes. At least astringent, but it means significant. No sanly bo alav, alayham, love. He puts his eye, he pays careful attention to them. L'sham ramu l'kaimam, to guard and preserve and fulfill them. Mashay davar shlohu gabo, as opposed to something which he's not accustomed to. L'zanach shabeinav. It's considered something strange. I think, is he going to fulfill them? In other words, everybody grows up with a certain set of expectations and standards, and those things they adhere to and they want to maintain. Obviously, not always, and not to the same extent, but relatively speaking. And then there are things which are new, and they might be good things, but a person's unaccustomed to them. So therefore, they're not something which he's going to do with the same amount of dedication and perseverance.
Mhm.
So this is not true about commercial activity. There's nothing which a person finds foreign, unless it's something of which there's no hope of reward. Um, when you have a desire or you hope for reward, that's going to bring close things which are very far afoot. Even most remote schemes, person will adopt to get rich. We look at the spiritual situation. Person near was seeking masha davar. So hurga ba rachok meinav and mastimli ba'alav. So evidently, if we can extrapolate commercial activities, things which are distant from one's eyes, and it doesn't pay attention to, zelos indicates kisodas hadas lohukbu bo. He doesn't have these things embedded in him like he has the quest for his own pleasure and benefit, and that's why these things are very far from him. See this and understand that obviously a person who finds that the things which are strange to him has to check, would they be strange to him if you can make money out of them?
Yeah, that's right.
Um, Matzino himself cooked as the Zainam base. Person has seen himself as if he left Egypt. In Egypt. Shneimar bigata b'gomer. Ba'avur zeh Hashem libed seisim Mitzrayim. For this Hashem did what he did for me, taking me out of Egypt. Rama Mosif Od Mila. Rama adds another word. Kilu atoy yotzami Mitzrayim. That's the himself as if just now he left Mitzrayim, not historically. Now, Hanira Kimia Torah Mechayev Laros Atzmo. So it seems Ram also uses language of Laros, not Liros, not to see, but to manifest or demonstrate. The Torah Mechayev Laros Atzmo Kilu Atoy Yotzami Mitzrayim. The Kach Mitzvah say that's the mitzvah. L'chora mihu zeh shamarel latzmo kilu hu yotzato, who can demonstrate himself or show himself that how to regard himself as if he just left. So I think, yeah, and that's why you have to put a lot of effort into this. And to demonstrate to oneself, kilu yotza, as if he went out. Uzet sorich, he went out of Egypt. Uzet sorich yigia v'limud. It's not easy. You need to have toil and learning. And who does try to see themselves as if they just left Mitzrayim? Person should see themselves left Mitzrayim 5 minutes ago, right? And with all the amazing revelations, expectations, and appreciations which it entails. If a person doesn't toil, he's missing the foundations of the faith. He's only doing the mitzvahs by rote, by habit. Let us make sure to establish foundations of emunah. And leharos means not just to see intellectually, but to manifest in this world. So a person has to, according to the Rambam, has to manifest himself now as if he's leaving Mitzrayim. And obviously his point is that if you see yourself leaving Mitzrayim, it's mechazik your emunah, right? It's also mechazik your bitocha, and probably other things. But the point is that a person has to show himself now as if he's leaving Egypt right now, and that way it's going to be mashpi on him to have all this sort of internal influence, make himself like somebody left Mitzrayim. Remember, the pasuk on the Pesach, Kodesh Baruch Hu commanded to Zachar, well, not Pesach, but Zachar to Kevin Isa. You should remember that you were a slave in Egypt. So for the Rambam, you should see yourself as if you were an Evet and you now came out to freedom and were redeemed. I'll explain a little bit more. V'omi base avodim. Where do you say that? Um, yeah. In the paragraph, he named Bezemi's Barer, the second paragraph on Mem base.
Mhm.
V'omi base avodim. Lule is also saying Meshubadim Paramitzrayim. Okay, so now to expand that idea. I wrote briefly because it's so difficult. Right? Why do you have to say Mitzrayim based abadim? Al kavanas Torah mitchila ha'ikar. First comes the primary thing. I took you out. Hare ki hu kol yachol. So that indicates that he is omnipotent. Like you should say chas v'shalom avodas adam. So which is omnipotent can't require the avodah of a person. V'akel tovaschem. Akol tovaschem. It must say I gave it to you for your benefit. Tavinu. When you understand what? I guess when you understand what the purpose of Yitzias Mitzrayim. As Yeshlem retain harbe sachar, you should pay a lot by the Torah. Really?
I don't know.
You should pay, I guess going back to what I said before with commercial activity, right? Commercial activity, you're going to go pursue even the most outlandish scheme to make money. So he says, Koshkin, if you have something which is going to for sure be to your benefit. So Torah, you should want to expend expenditures on it. I'm giving it to you as a free gift. Even before you understand that, you should think it's better to serve me than to serve avodas perech, the difficult labor in Mitzrayim, the dailach gima. I'm not sure what exactly he's hinting at here. Oh, okay. So he's saying when you understand what Torah is, then you understand that you should have, instead of me giving it to you as a gift, you should have come and sought to buy it. Right? It's so important and so significant. But even before you understand this, how significant Torah is, you should at least understand that serving me is superior to serving the Egyptians in their slave labor. And that is, Hashot Tzichem Eretz Yisrael works on two levels. On a simple level, Hashot Tzichem Eretz Yisrael, and now you should appreciate that. And that's much better than being Ovid Avodas Parach Mitzrayim, is you're being Ovid me. On another level, Hashot Tzichem Eretz Yisrael, actually, this is going to be based avodim, he said. Base avodim tells you that he took you out of Abdus, and that should be enough. But besides, the Shazim Eretz Yisrael tells us that it's something which is so powerful that because Baruch Hu does not need our avodah or Torah, and he gives it to us anyway. I'm not sure about that. Well, he says
Mm.
here, I tell you, it's us in Mitzrayim. Oh, yeah, because you have to see yourselves like you left Mitzrayim now. So he's stressing this point. He says, Yitzias Mitzrayim on a higher level, not from base avodim. Mitzrayim means you now, 5 minutes ago. Like you said before, Atom in Mitzrayim. The Haros is Asmukil Yatzim Mitzrayim. So a person has to approach his mission in this world with the sense that it didn't take place 5,000 whatever years ago. It took place today. And that means that everything which I do in life or anything I experience is something which I experience as a result and should be treated in the vein of Yitzias Mitzrayim, which means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu shows me how powerful he is, although I'm not sure exactly how this works. And therefore, like you said in the previous paragraph, the beginning of this paragraph, that actually bottom previous page. It's for your own. Everything is for our own good, right? Can't be for me, says the Baruch Hu, it's for you. So therefore, I'm not sure now. Emuna Gluya, I guess means that the topic of this piece, I guess means that when a person is maras atzmo kilu yotzim mitzrayim, that is emuna gluya. In other words, a person shows in himself, it's as if now he left Egypt, and he himself left Egypt, and he himself has all the achrayas and all the toiva and all the ashreinu and all the things which come together with Yitzias Mitzrayim. That is emuna gluya. That means that then he's going to be able to manifest his emuna in his life. So the main point in this piece was 2 main points. 3 main points. First of all, Mitzrayim was very powerful, and the Eretz Mitzrayim, Mibeis Avodim, is important, right? Because that demonstrates Hashem's power. And the 2 aspects to it, Eretz Mitzrayim and Beis Avodim. Eretz Mitzrayim is the capacity for a person to see himself as if he left Egypt, and to see that he has all these responsibilities as a result. And as if we just left Egypt right now. And Mibeis Avodim teaches us that on a lower level, at least it's better to serve me than than it was to serve Mitzrayim. Okay. This one, kacha.
Difficult. Yeah, very difficult. So Makatzer, you know. Okay.
All
Take
right.
care.
Take care. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.